Hey guys, today we're going to be rebuilding the steam turbine. This one is a clone, but I really don't care about that. Works the same way. I've already got it for the most part taken apart, other than just the top cap and the tank cover. This is what it looks like underneath. Dual coil setup. Alright. So first what you're going to do, what I'm using is stainless steel rope, as I use on almost all of my devices, and I will be sleeving it with some 2mm Echo wool. And first thing you're going to want to do is torch it. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way. I'm reusing this stainless steel rope. I can use it for... I haven't gotten a piece that I haven't been able to continue to use yet. So you're just going to torch it. You get all the excess juice off of it if you're rebuilding. But if you're just starting from scratch, you're going to want to go ahead and torch your steel rope or your mesh, whichever you choose to run. Personally, I don't care for the way mesh tastes. Not anymore. And with mesh, you got to do the Jenny tilt, and oftentimes you will get a dry hit. And just going to go ahead and torch this the Eco wool a little bit. And with stainless steel rope, you don't get that. It's true capillary action. You know, it defies gravity. It's FM. FM standing for flipping magic. Try to keep this PG-13. So now that that's good and torched, my rope should be cool enough to set down. You got to be careful with this, because if you do just set it down, say on paper towel or your table or whatnot, you're going to have issues with that. I have caught a paper towel on fire just by setting it down on it. I'm going to go ahead and torch this one. It's been a while since I've done a video. I just been rocking some pretty good coils for a while, so I haven't had to rebuild anything. I will be getting around to doing a few more videos this weekend or this following week. I plan on doing an RSST build, and I plan on doing a Trident clone and a Cyclone clone, or a SCAR. But that's going to be later this week, as I feel about getting around to it. So I've been kind of sick, so forgive me. And while that's cooling off, I'm going to have a vape. You're going to want to let it sit and cool for a few minutes, because, well, not a few minutes, but for about a minute, because it retains the heat really well. This is a 7x7 3/32 stainless steel rope, which means it's 7 wraps of 7 strands. And let's see if I can be stable enough. I don't know if you can see it. Each little braid has 7 smaller braids within it, and there's 7 total wraps, so you get a 7x7. I think any more than 7x7 will just wick way too fast, and you'll just have a flooded device. Alright. Quick check, that should be good. Alright, next thing you're going to want to do now that you have your eco wool is you're going to want to spread it out. You're going to want to open it up so it can take your rope. Try to find the center and then just push it down. Most of the time I'll torch this, but this is pretty good and torched already, so I won't have to retorch it to get the rope to go through. And forgive me, I'm going to look at this to find the center, and you will want to twist and be careful not to let the burrs catch on any of the braids, because it will. If your rope is frayed too much on the end, it will catch the braids of your eco wool and it will pull it apart. So that's about as much as I'm going to need. I might actually not need as much. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut it. I'm going to give myself enough to play with. There we go. So now I'm going to set that off to the side, and I'm going to do the same with the other one. So you just do the same. You locate the center, and you rotate until it starts to slide, no problem. And there we go. Again, that's about as much as I'm going to use. So I'll cut off some excess, leave myself enough room to play with. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the glass tank off, and I'll get a paper towel and clean it out. Reason being is with all that excess juice in there, you don't want it to soak up on the wick, because if it does that before you have your coil wrapped, your eco wool will fray, and it'll make it extremely hard to wrap your coil. Alright, and on this I am doing a dual coil, dual wick setup, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to seat my wick. Alright, see how little I have sticking down, so I'm going to go ahead and just hold this and pull. It's hard for you to see what I'm doing, I apologize. So there we go. And now I'm going to do the same with the other side. I'm going to seat the wick and just pull. There you go. So now I'm going to set my locking ring, or I'm just going to take it apart. You always want to do this without the battery able to fire, so I'm just going to take the bottom half off. And I will be using 28 gauge wire. So I'm going to cut me a length long enough to do 2 coils and still have room to spare. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and torch it so it takes all the springiness away. Alright. Oh, it's a bit warm, Jeff. Alright. That's good and torched. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this around that screw. And I'm going to start my first wrap. I'm going to catch it. And I'm going to tighten that screw down. My Eco-Wool had come loose. So you got to be careful when you're doing that, because everything has a tendency to not do what you want it to do. Alright, so now I'm just starting my wrap. I'm going to swing around, push it down, trap it, and I'm going to turn the atomizer as I do this. Alright, and I'm going to spin it around again. Just going to do a 3 wrap. 3 wraps where I like it to be. And right in here, you got 2 washers. You want to trap it between those 2 washers. So this is hard enough to do as it is without being on camera. So just got to get them separated. And there you go. You can see it. It's going through. So I'm just going to go around a little bit, and now I'm going to tighten it down. Alright. I'm going to take a look. I'm going to pull this one out because the same thing happened. See, it got a little wet. It soaked up some juice, and it started to come undone. And that's what I was telling you about. So I'm going to go ahead and just bring it through a little bit more. And I'll try this again. Right. Forgive me, I'm working with frayed rope and frayed Eco-Wool. But we can make it work. You can always make it work. And then just going to do my feeding through. Alright. So I'm fighting with seriously frayed Eco-Wool. So you just keep pulling it through. Alright. And then you just trap it under. Alright. Oh, there we go. Oh, it come undone. Check that out. Y'all get to see some problems in action. That's always a good thing. I don't aim to make a perfect video. I aim to make a good tutorial. And it's always best when y'all get to see the actual problems that happen on hand and how you can just handle them on the spot. Best way to do that one is to alright. So, where's my little tool? It's my pick. I am just going to straighten out, even out these coils. It hurts. Note to self, don't rest your wrist on a sharp drip tip. Just trying to even them out, nice and spaced out so they'll blow nice and even. See, when I first started doing Genesis atomizers, I really didn't understand what they were talking about when they said you want it all glowing evenly. I thought a slight glow would have been just enough. No, you want each one of them glowing hot. So it took me a while to figure out what they were talking about glowing evenly. Until finally one day I got it. And made it work. Alright, I'm taking care of that strand of wire sticking up here. And then on this side, I'm going to do the same thing. Got the coil sticking up, I'm just going to clean it up. And now I'm going to stick it on my Nemesis, or put it together. And now we're going to glow the coils. There we go. So now just going to cut that off. Now I'm going to go ahead and trim up some of this excess eco wool sticking off. Reason for that is that extra eco wool just sticking down here. It's gonna cause issues when you put your top cap on. So now put the glass on. Got some juice from the Vapor Hut. Kind of helps when you work there. I know that was a shameful plug. So now you're just gonna fill the tank. Screw the tank protector on. Yes, I do have the NIM1 hybrid kit on here. And look how small that air chamber is. That's going to add for a lot of flavor. Especially since it's going to make the flavor a lot better, since I like to open my air holes up. And the wider you open your air holes, the more airflow, the less flavor, but the more vapor. And I am a cloud chaser, as we all know. So I'm very pleased with that build. My first build, it was a good build. It wasn't tasting all that great. I think I washed it out, but apparently I didn't wash it out good enough. So there was still some machining oils left, and I was tasting that. But other than that, it was a good build. It was vaping all right, and I just didn't feel like rebuilding it. So that's how you do dual coils on a steam turbine. Thank you for watching. Leave me a comment, like, share it if you like it, and I'll see you next time.